I get started, today is a very important and auspicious day. It's Guru Purnima. So to all the teachers, my sincere namaskarams. Without teachers, we don't exist. They say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parat Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So everywhere in philosophy, Guru comes first. I have gurus, not just inside my organization and from the college where I come from, even eminent people like Mr. Nadar, Mr. Lakshmi Narayan, Mr. Murthy, for whom I served in the past and the present. I think they're all my fantastic gurus. So to all of you who are in the front bench today, my namaskarams to you. I'm a computer science engineer. I'm a distinguished alumna awardee of REC Trichy. And in fact, it was none other than the Tata chairman, who is also an ex-NIT, Mr. Chandrasekhar, Chandra of Cognizant, and Mr. Murthy of Infosys. They were the three eminent people who actually gave me the award, the Distinguished Award in 2018. I'm a WeCall Women Leader of Asia Pacific. And this year, I also got selected as one among the top 25 management consultants in the world. I was actually named 10. I have to say all this because sometimes accomplishments have to be said by who has won, and there's nothing wrong. I'm also saying this because they say if a woman cladded in a sari and comes from south, wears a bindi, and does not want to actually show off in her suit, can be underplaying at all times. We are supposed to be humble. We need to exhibit humility. We cannot talk about ourselves because that is what we have been taught to do so, which is wrong. It is very interesting in many places when I go. I want to only share my experiences here on the unconscious bias. You know, the last few years, one of the work that I've been doing for HCL is to set up our Tier 2, Tier 3 operations worldwide, from Costa Rica to Madurai. In many of these introductions, I will go with my team. I'm the only woman. I would stand there like this, my body language, you know, with a gentle smile and looking at people. And there are many of my junior team members, men, who will stand like this, with their pockets, right? Or like this, right? Or they would speak like this as a sense of aggression. And when I have events like this, you'll find most of the people in the room will clog with those young men and men around, introducing themselves, exchanging cards. Please come and do this for us. You know, we want this. We want HCL to work on this. And gently all my boys will say yes, but the person who's going to take a decision is the woman there. Unconscious bias, right? A very simple example of unconscious bias. It's a very important topic for all the teachers and practitioners in this room. This morning, a fantastic minister from Kanyakumari was cladded in dhoti. Honestly, tell me how many of you in the room thought he'll speak in Tamil? Honestly, touch your heart and say he'll speak in Tamil. The minute he started to speak in impeccable English, with no grammar mistakes, coming from a small town in Kanyakumari, how many of you went walk saying he is fit to be an IT minister? That is a fundamental of unconscious bias. Let me throw a question to all of you in the room. You behave like students today for a change, right? Guru Purnima, we are all students here. Do you all gift something to your children, to your friends' children, or even to a newborn, all of you? How many of you gift something to your children, to your friends' children, to your sibling children in the room? How many of you? Arey yaar, don't feel shy. People who are not putting up, can you please say why you are not gifting anything to your children? The gentleman on the phone there, lady, just ask him, just call him, yeah. You don't gift anything to your children, sir? I asked you. Sir with the spectacles next to you. Yeah. Do you gift anything to your children? Gift to any children, right? Okay, because your hand didn't go up, so I was just wondering. Or were you thinking whether to give tomorrow or not? I can give you plenty of spaces. I have a very simple question to ask. How many of you in this room have gifted Barbie doll to boys? How many of you, pay attention, how many of you have gifted Barbie dolls? Do you know what Barbie dolls are? All of us know. At least we all know the song, right? I'm the Barbie girl, you're my Barbie ball, whatever, right? How many of you have gifted Barbie doll to your boys? Women, how many of you have gifted Barbie doll to your nephews, to your friends' sons, or to your own sons? Why can't you give a Barbie doll? Okay. How many of you have given kitchen sets to your boys? Some young people, younger than me. Good start. Kitchen is the first thing. How many of you have gifted race cars to your girls? Slowly. That's because you like to play with them, right? Yeah? Between the kitchen set and the race cars, the girls slowly will shift towards the thing. And then you're taking the dinky toy and running, right? All those matchbox cars from, very interesting. Have you introspected why you don't do it? Have you introspected why construction kits, toys, don't have anything as a pink block? You have green, yellow, blue, right? Right? Have you ever asked, you're all like bright academicians, have you ever asked, have you ever questioned yourself why you don't want to put women in civil engineering and mechanical engineering and production engineering, but at the same time you don't mind women carrying hollow blocks and bricks in a construction site? Because we don't want women in engineering because you think she can't do, right? She can't carry heavy weight, she can't carry tools, she can't put a machine from one side because you are weak, no? I know we are very proteinly, we are very bad, I understand. But you don't mind seeing in the construction sites, mason will be a male, he will sit there, supervisor with his BD. Have you noticed? And women will be underpaid. She gets only 70 rupees, the same fellow male will get 100 rupees. But she'll be carrying equal number of bricks. And she will be size 0. But she will carry heavier weight than a Dadagiri male who takes 250 ml liquor every day at 3 o'clock. That's where his money goes. He is lean because of liquor. She is lean because she's sharing food. But both of them are carrying same weight. But here in our colleges, we say, mechanical engineering, production engineering, oh my God, they have to be at the shop floor. I started career long ago from the engineering school. My first job was in a techno-commercial. Basically, whatever you call it as your machine learning, whatever we are all talking about today, my job was to work around collecting the NEMA 4, NEMA 12 standard computers, which is basically the fireproof, waterproof computers, to the PLCs on the floor. I remember my first conversation with defense. I carry all this, I go into the defense sector, and I'm presenting. This is much before Dr. Kalam took over. All of them were men in the room. All of them are men in the room. Thankfully, it's changed a lot now. And I'm saying, can we get started? And then the person, two people in the front saying, where is your manager? Who's the person who's going to present it? And I'm saying, I'm the manager. You carried this huge machine? I'm like, yeah. So, are you going to tell us how to work on the computer? Yeah. Are you going to connect to the PLC and tell us what not to do? Yeah. Nobody in the room were willing to support me. I didn't know what to do. I said, look, I'm going to start my work. It's up to you to decide. Two gentlemen walked first. 2 gentlemen brought another 4 gentlemen. 4 gentlemen brought another 16 gentlemen. My room was full then. Why I'm saying is, some of you have to be the change agent to change. You all have textbooks. It's very unfortunate. I was just going through the independent director material from the Institute of Corporate Affairs. Anybody can note it and give feedback I've given. Board of directors. All of them are men with red ties. Suddenly you wonder, where is there no woman in a sari in an Indian in context? Ordinary citizens can be shareholders. 9 men and 1 woman. Only 1 woman can be a shareholder or even buy stocks. Right? So where are we seeding what is called as unconscious bias? The reason I'm saying unconscious bias has nothing to do with gender. Dr. Jayant talked about competency-based this morning, right? I also heard to the other eminent, academician, he talked about competency-based skilling. Equal and equitable learning comes when you don't have unconscious bias. I'm not here to give you prescriptions. You don't need policies. You don't need affirmative actions. You don't need the West to tell you who you are and what you have to do. It starts very young. It starts with your textbooks. It starts with how you want to look at the definition of safety, security, definition of what women and men can do. It starts with a very fundamental picture in a pre-KG book. Women is in the kitchen. Of course, I love cooking. I cook. She's in the kitchen cooking. The dad is reading a newspaper. The dog is lying around. The girl child is cutting vegetables. And the boy is actually sitting with a book. Go back. I think that is what some of our own school people have changed right now in the last few governments. Appreciate them. But it hasn't changed at a very India or a global level. I'm not here to speak about Americas. I'm not here to speak about what's happening as best practices outside. The best practices of unconscious bias and breaking the stereotypes is with all of us. You decide. You decide what to do. You decide how recognitions are taken. When women go to the top, they say, oh, actually I think the male boss is very nice. He wants to bring his compassion. Or maybe he has a daughter. Or maybe because his granddaughter is just born, so that is why he is into helping women. At the same time, when a male goes, he says, oh my God, he's been working hard for 30 years. He deserves to be there on the top. He's brilliant. His deals are like $2 billion, $3 billion. That's why he's at the top. But women, no, that's because we need compassionate and soft leadership in the corporate. So it came out in the morning very strongly, and I condemn and I'm very concerned when somebody said, in colleges you don't have parity, but it happens in the corporate. It's the other way. In corporates, we all have equal policies and equal opportunities. But very fundamental, when an academician spoke this morning, the problem is women have to take care of household. Household is men and women coming together. What is an unconscious bias of saying household is equivalent to a woman? Have you ever come across anybody in this room? Will you introduce yourself? I'm a working man. I'm a working father. Have you all introduced yourself? Anyone in an introduction, 3-minute pizza, they come to you and say, sir, chairman sir, I'm a working father. But then I get introduced to some people. Oh, she's a corporate, she's a C-suite woman, but she's a working mother. She has 2 children. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why working fathers and working women, working mothers? Are this a clause? Is it like a class that is emerging that you need to distinguish? I'll give you one more example of subconscious and unconscious bias before I leave the room for any questions and hand over to the second eminent speaker. When the daycare setup started in this country, much of the CFOs told me, oh, you're making a big change for women. You're going to get more women. I smiled at all of them and said, just wait. See who is going to be our first enrollment in the company setup daycare centers. most of the companies, the first enrollment was done by dads. I don't know whether it is guilt-free or they just decided it's a quality time with the child. Either ways, they broke the stereotypes. Go back, check on your stereotypes, decide where it starts. It's nothing to do with gender. It's about a student walking to your office with tattoos. Will you admit him? Will you go to a doctor and he removes his shirt and suddenly you find a Virat Kohli in him? You're very worried, right? The tattoo starting from here. You say, my God, he's going to be my surgeon? Is he going to really operate on me? But you don't mind his handwriting to be bad. You don't even understand what he writes and you accept his medicine, but you don't accept his tattoos. Where does your unconscious bias starts? I wish you all the best. It just starts, I started to realize what it was long ago. I'm only an advocacy champion. I don't prescribe remedies because each one of us have grown up very differently. I come from rural India. I got raised by grandparents who didn't differentiate between the male and a female child. My dad believed in me. I do bike. I have a 1000 cc. I wear because my husband decides that he doesn't care when I'm on bikes or when I'm on my cars. Nobody cares at home. Do you care based on what the person can give you, or do you care based on who he is or who she is? That's all about unconscious bias. Wish you best of luck. Be the change, bring the change, and that's for tomorrow. Thank you.